Don't tell me words don't matter. I have a dream, just words. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, just words. We have nothing to fear but fear itself, just words, just speeches. It's true that speeches don't solve all problems, but what is also true is if we cannot inspire to believe again, fascinating to me to see, he's talking about hope again. He's so naive. He's so idealistic. His head's in the clouds. He's a hope monger. He needs a reality check. He's peddling false hopes. False hopes. False hopes. The notion is, apparently, that if you talk about hope, you must not have a clear view of reality. That you must just be, going around happy as can be, ignorance out there, all the barriers that stand in your way. Listen, it's true I talk about hope a lot. This notion that somehow hopes are false, that implies that hope is blind optimism, that you're passive, that you're waiting and sitting back for good things to happen, that you're shirking from a fight. That's not what hope is. Hope is not blind optimism. Hope is not ignoring the challenges that stand in your way. I know how hard it will be to alleviate poverty. I know how hard it will be to fix our schools, because it's not just a function of money. It is a function of changing attitudes. We're going to have to change how we teach our children. We're going to have to change how we nurture them. We're going to have to parent. And changing culture is a hard thing. And I've won some good fights, but I've also lost some fights because I know good intentions are not enough when not fortified with political will and political power. I've seen how politics can be used to make us afraid of each other and how we turn on each other, how fear can cloud our judgment. And suddenly we start scapegoating gay people or immigrants or people who don't look like us or Muslims because our own lives aren't going well. I know how hard change is. I also know this, that nothing very worthwhile has ever happened except somebody somewhere was willing to hope. That's how slaves and abolitionists resisted that wicked system. That is how, with great courage but also hope, that is how workers won the right to organize against violence and intimidation. That's how women won the right to vote. That's how young people traveled to march and to sit in and to be beaten, and some went to jail and some died for freedom's cause. That's what hope is. That's what hope is. Imagining and then fighting for and then working for what did not seem possible before. That's leadership. John F. Kennedy didn't look up at the moon and say, oh, that's too far. We can't go. False hopes. Martin Luther King didn't stand on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and say, go home, everybody, the dream's deferred. False hopes. Y'all need a reality check. There is a moment in the life of every generation when that spirit of hopefulness has to come through if we are to make our mark on history. When we cast aside the fear and the doubt and the cynicism and we stop settling for what the cynics tell us we have to settle for, when we join together and we decide, when we decide in our guts, when we are determined that our children and grandchildren deserve the same chance as somebody gave us, when we make a determination and we are willing to fight on the basis of the conviction that we are going to keep the dream alive for those who still yearn for justice and still thirst for opportunity. This is our moment. This is our time.